Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Welcome, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I live my life by a very profound quote. If the door to your dream is closed, then you should go through the window. I was born on April 25th in 1992, right here in Baltimore City. On the day that I was born, my father presented my mother with a gift. It was a bottle of wine that he had gotten from his recent trip to Italy. He said to my mother, "This bottle of wine is just like our baby girl. It was bottled just a moment ago, and in 21 years, it'll be mature in age to perfection. Just like our baby girl was born just a moment ago, in 21 years, she will be mature in age to perfection." It became a legacy in my family, and on my 21st birthday, I enjoyed my very first glass of wine thanks to my father. My father was a traveling pharmacist, and my mother was a traveling nurse. Needless to say, I was a latchkey kid, and I had to teach myself how to survive. I remember teaching myself how to make my first meal, and how to sew a button onto my coat, and even how to cut my own bangs when I was in the 3rd grade. In my house, we had a huge library, and I remember this one big book, and on the inside flap was a quote that read, "If the door to your dream is closed, then you should go through the window." At the time, it didn't really mean anything to me, but as life went on, I realized that this would be a dream and of my life. When I was in high school, I decided to attend college, and I really wanted to go to Stevenson University, which I did not know at the time was a predominantly white university, and it used to be called Villa Julie. So I went to my guidance counselor and I said, "Hey, I really want to apply to this school." And she said to me, "Well, if you want to apply to this school, Tiffany, you need to do it quickly because they may just be reaching their minority quota." That hit me like a ton of bricks. But I applied anyway because I really wanted to get into the school. Not only did they have my major, but it was right around the corner from where I lived. And I was denied. The door to my dream was closed. But that window, it was open. I made a huge sign that read, "I have a 4.0 GPA and I am qualified to go to this school and they will not let me attend." I wrote a letter to President Obama explaining my situation. I called all my local news outlets and I said, "Boy, do I have a story for your front page." And I took my sign and I sat outside the registrar's office for about a week straight. And at the end of the week, not only did I get accepted into the school, I also went there on a full Obama administration scholarship.
Wow.
In the spring of 2015, I graduated with my degree in psychology from Stevenson, and I knew I was gonna get my dream job. My dream job was to be an outreach manager at a mental health core service agency. So when I graduated, I got on that company's website and the position was filled. Once again, the door to my dream was closed. But that window, it was open. I had just won my first beauty competition and they invited me to that company's holiday gala as a guest. So I showed up in my crown and sash, and I was ready to walk away with the job offer. I ran into the CEO in an elevator, and I said, "I just got my degree in psychology, and I am exactly what you are looking for." He was very impressed, and he hired me on the spot. The only interview question he asked me, which I remember very vividly, he said, "What do you want your legacy to be?" I knew what my legacy was. In 2013, I founded a nonprofit organization called Beautiful Beings, where I mentor underprivileged youth in Baltimore City. And not only do we pride ourselves on mentoring young women, but we also aim to increase attendance rates and graduation rates. And so even though I had a full-time job and I was running a nonprofit organization, I just craved more. And I found more. I decided to try out to be a Baltimore Ravens playmaker. And out of 300 beautiful women who showed up that day, only 18 were going to make the squad. They had to show up in these workout tops and bottoms, these Hooters tights, and some cheer boots. They wanted our makeup to be loud, our hair to be big, and our personalities to be even bigger. It's crazy, right? Well, I made the team. And once I became a Baltimore Ravens playmaker and being around such amazing women, that inspired me to compete for Miss Maryland USA. And even though I've competed in 3 different Miss Maryland USA systems and I've gotten first runner-up at all of these titles, I tried to get a couple of weeks ago, and I lost. Seeing that girl get crowned on stage made me feel like the door to my dream was closed. But that window was open. A judge came to me after the pageant and said, "How would you like to be the face of my new brand?" And I said, "Of course." So tomorrow at 6:05 a.m., I am flying out to Costa Rica for my first photo shoot. And I am gracious to know that even at 24, the theme of my life will be, even if the door to my dream is closed, there will always be an open window. Thank you.